Status? All inhabitants are still on the second floor, Diaz informed her. In the master bedroom. Dr. Bach thinks our guy's dosing again. What are you picking up? And please don't do it if you can't block the fear. Fear and confusion from the family was a given, and since in this case there were 4 of them, that fear was a powerful force that left a strangely metallic taste in Mac's mouth when she lowered her mental shields enough to let it in. But 3 were children, and even though she didn't know for sure, she would bet her life savings on the fact that at least 2 were under the age of 10. Because from them, she felt a still strong blast of hope. This can't be happening. Daddy loves us. This must be a mistake. As for their joker, I got some serious no fear from our guy, Mac reported to Diaz. Just a shitload of rage. She sent the window screen silently flying like a giant frisbee well into the neighbor's yard. Beneath that, jealousy to the point of hatred. He's gone. We believe he's double dosing in an attempt to read his wife's mind, Diaz reported. Dr. Bach's picking up signs of the Ville's increasing telepathic power, but it's bouncing all over the place. Maybe he'll do us a favor and OD, Mac said as she reached down again and pulled up on the bottom half of the double-hung window. The damn thing jammed. True, she wasn't in the best position to muscle it up, hanging over the edge of the roof with virtually no leverage. And even if she got it open all the way, it was still freaking small, just as narrow as they'd all imagined it would be from down on the ground. And that was why she'd been sent up here instead of Diaz, who was nearly twice her size. Usually, she backed up Dr. Bach as he made a first-floor entry, while Diaz climbed the outside walls and gained access through an upper-floor window, easily unlocking and opening it with his mind. But every other window in this Victorian monster of a house was painted tightly shut, and not even their esteemed leader, Dr. Bach, had the power to break that kind of seal without making a shitload of noise. Of course, there were times when a shitload of noise came in handy. Sometimes this kind of takedown went more quickly and easily when she and Diaz followed Bach's command to use good old shock and awe. Forget gaining entry by breaking the 150 years of paint that glued the windows shut. Just combine their mental powers to blow all of the glass out of the entire structure, while flames erupted from the air conditioning vents, balls of lightning exploded from every power outlet, and every piece of furniture in the place got up and danced. Out freak the frequent flyer. But this time, Bach didn't want to go that way, and Bach knew best. And that wasn't Mac being snarky, that was Mac being real. Dr. Joseph Bach did know best. She wouldn't be a member of his weird little freak show commando team if she didn't believe that with all of her heart and soul. She strained to move the window, trying to gain traction on the slippery roof. Need help? Diaz's voice murmured in her ear, just as she finally pushed the window back down and got it realigned. It went up much easier now. Thanks, she said as she rearranged herself, preparing to slip inside. That wasn't me, he said. I was talking to Dr. Bach. Mac came back. I'm good to go. Anything else I should know? Joker's name was Nathan Hempford, Diaz replied. That's all we've got. And that meant that this particular freak didn't have a file, at least not one that Dr. Bach had been given access to as they'd rushed over here to step in and save the day after the local Boston SWAT team had already failed to the tune of 2 body bags. The villain formerly known as Nathan was a bullet bender. They all knew that much about him. Thanks to the absurd quantity of destiny pumping through his veins, he had developed the undeniably impressive mental power to stop a bullet in its path and return it to the shooter with deadly results. It was a very rare skill set. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite so rare among the handful of addicts who jokered in the past few months. Must be something in the current local batch of destiny, something that targeted a particular neural pathway. And that was unusual. No 2 individuals had exactly the same powers, even those greater-thans like Bach and Diaz and Mac herself, who'd all spent countless hours studying and training and practicing to control their individual mental talents they'd come by naturally without sticking a needle in their arms. Mac's own skills were decidedly different from Steve and Diaz's, even though they both had achieved mental integration of a very high